Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, June 24th at 11:45 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. We're on the rim of the Kilauea caldera approximately 3 hours ago, moments before the 5.2 explosion happened, causing this caldera to increase in size and displaying a fantastic rainbow. Look at that. Mother Nature's glory. Not a big event. We can jump forward. You can see a small steam explosion occurring during this 5.2 volcanic event. I'll leave you links below. Let's get on with the update. Alameda County strike team arrives at out-of-control Lake County wildfire this morning. This is in Oakland. Two separate Alameda County fire strike teams with fire crews from several different departments have been dispatched early this morning on the Pawnee Fire in Lake County. Fire officials said to no avail. This baby grew from 1,000 acres to over 7,000 acres in the last 24 hours. Totally out of control fire now spreads to 7,000 acres. The Pawnee Fire in Lake County, California has rapidly outpaced efforts to combat it, according to CBS San Francisco. The inferno spread rapidly Sunday to 7,700 acres, probably exceeding 10,000 as I speak, and raising at least a dozen structures. Cal Fire said the blaze was out of control and the threat to homes in the Spring Valley area was imminent at 5 p.m. The blaze had grown to 3,000 acres and was threatening 600 structures as it burned through the area of steep, rugged terrain. We have a mandatory evacuation of Spring Valley, Cal Fire Division Chief Gary Bertelli said early Saturday. It's imperative that you evacuate unless you want the flesh to burn from your body. That's a heads up. First heads up of the day. Are you prepared? We're talking tornado, wildfire, volcano, hail, incoming meteorite, earthquake, landslide, avalanche, grand solar minimum. Boom! 416 fire expected to grow Sunday amid critical fire conditions. Expected. We had gusts of 50, 60 here, non-stop all day. Smoke coming all the way over to Pagosa. This thing exploded. We'll get you the details tomorrow. There is no data coming in yet. They're fighting it as we speak. Audit, Kansas wildfire efforts inadequate. Kansas has no money to fight fire. They better not light any there. Whew. Kansas is in a hard way. An audit found that Kansas doesn't have any money for wildfires. Oh, that is the first boom of the day. Get out of Kansas or stop smoking. Severe thunderstorms and locally heavy rainfall shifts to the plains to the mid-Mississippi Valley on Monday. We have severe weather watches and warnings down here, Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. A strong upper disturbance will depart the central Rockies into the central plains to form a rather wound-up area of low pressure on Monday. This will shift the chances of severe thunderstorms and locally heavy rainfall from portions of the central and southern plains into the mid-Mississippi Valley. We have flash flood watches and warnings up here on the Iowa and South Dakota state line, as well as Nebraska. So heads up if you're in these counties. Come to weather.gov and click on the county you live in if you want to know the details. It's that simple. Heads up, we have high wind warnings, and the winds are going to die out here in the Four Corners region, and it looks like by Saturday, the monsoons may kick in for you kids that live in that area, including myself. Snow closes South Island roads with more forecast. Snow falling across the South Island has closed roads and sparked road warnings for motorists. Heads up, State Highway 94 from Te Anu to Milford is closed due to snow, as well as State Highway 7 from Hanmer to Springs Junction. Whew. And guess what? The bomb has to adjust their forecast because they have no idea what they're talking about. Snow is now expected to 100 meters in Dunedin overnight. The changing nature of the polar front moving across the South Island tonight has forced the Met Service to revise its forecast to show snow down to 100 meters and ice to lower levels in Dunedin and the rest of Otago and Southland tomorrow morning. Meteorologist Mark Bowe said snow and hail would start to fall from about 8 p.m. tonight and would continue into tomorrow morning. Any terrain above 100 meters can expect some snow. With the showers and cold temperatures, there will also be quite a lot of ice around. Yes, indeed. Below freezing temperatures. Met Service said snow accumulations may reach warning criteria above 400 meters in Fjordland, Southland, Kultha, Otago during Monday night and early Tuesday morning. So be prepared and put your snow tires on. Rockford, Illinois receives 3 times its average June rainfall by June 22nd and is totally fluxed, and SUVs are totally covered up to this window. Multiple rainfall records were broken in Rockford, Illinois after heavy rain drenched the Rock River Valley this week, causing significant flash flooding and forcing officials to impose boating restrictions on the Rock River. Well, you can boat down Rock Road. Heavy rainfall was recorded across the state this month, leading to widespread river flooding. According to the data provided to the National Weather Service, Rockford's June rainfall total reached an incredible 12.3 inches by the 22nd. Whew. That is a rainforest, and that is a flooded Chi-town. Moving on. Next big thing in Pulse research, peas that grow beneath winter snow. Why would they be researching this in a global warming world? Somebody please tell me. Now, these peas can have 50 to 100% more yield and are planted in the fall as opposed to the spring. Not only that, they produce earlier. Now, the problem is these are in the ground for up to 9 months, and they can literally be hit with all types of pests. So they're obviously going to genetically modify them in some way. Now, you can't spray Roundup under snow, so let's see how they do it. We're going to be watching. Seismic update, no quakes of note. We've got this one kicking off moments ago in Greece at 5.5. It's not on land. It's offshore. So we're going to be looking for some reports in the morning here. We have a 4.6 kicking off in Guatemala just seconds ago. Series of 3 and the 5.2 explosion in Kilauea that we just showed you at the opening. Just a moderate uptick. A lot more earthquakes happening globally than just in Hawaii, thankfully. We are in a seismic watch, though, so heads up for the next 2 days. Park officials don't know when the Volcanoes National Park will reopen. Really? You don't know when that park will reopen? As the caldera widens to several square miles and it continues to explode every 24 hours, earthquakes and explosions continue at Hanemamal Crater. Volcanic ash coats roadways and parking lots throughout a majority of the park. The popular Jagger Museum Overlook, where thousands of visitors once visited, is now heavily damaged with deep cracks. Just this week, park officials removed museum artifacts and exhibit features from the park, knowing they might not be back. The building itself, the Jagger Museum, has foundational damage to it, with cracks going near the bottom of it and up. We don't know if we'll be able to use the building again, especially if it falls into the hole. The crater continues to grow, changing dramatically. The lava lake is gone, replaced by a gigantic void in the planet. With ongoing seismic activity, park officials said about 2/3 of the park have been closed. Farmers in the area are coming around giving donations. That's nice. So this baby's never reopening. I hate to tell you. They'll have to put it in a different place. Come over here and give them support. This is USGS live stream. They have 50,000 subs now. They're killing us. Worldwide volcano news update. We have Krakatoa today. Whew. And we know what that is. That's the little baby inside of Krakatoa. Ibu and Sabancaya also making the list. Check out Sakojorima. Heads up. Come check it out for yourself. Do your own homework. Did you ever hear of the Kratky method? It's a simple and fun way to grow food. Yeah, all you need is some water and a little bit of nutrient and a couple seeds and a few other items. If you like container gardening, this is a hydroponic electric-free, pump-free, maintenance-free system where you can grow food. Does that sound insane? It's not. Start growing with the Kratky method. Sometimes they're called rafts, which you're looking at here, where they're growing lettuces. But today's farmer, Brandon Youst from Veg2 Bowl, a farm-to-food truck operation, is joining us on the Upstart U blog. Brandon uses the Kratky method, using a stationary solution with no pump to grow greens for his food truck. You can grow almost anything. If you want to know how to use the Kratky method, they're using it all over Hawaii. Well, they were. They're probably using it all over Hawaii. Hawaii's pretty big, guys. That Kilauea volcano is only on the southern tip of the Big Island. Most of Hawaii is open for business. Now, setting up a Kratky hydroponic system is easy, and here I'm going to share with you for maximum yield this system in 6 easy steps. It's basically what you're looking at. Water, plant, and water, plant. And you need a little space in between where oxygen gets in there. So, if you want to know how to grow the Kratky hydroponic method, check it out. I even have another link. The Kratky method, how to grow food almost automatically. Although I already think that hydroponics is one of the most interesting, simple, and productive gardening methods out there, what continues to surprise me is the amount of innovation that happens in the field. There are so many different hydroponic systems out there, and they seem to be limited only by your imagination. Yes, it's true, because all you need is some pipes, some holes in the pipes, and some water flowing through them. And then you just stick little baskets with plants in them, and boom. You're in business. And that's science. Hydroponic science. If you want to know what the Kratky method is and you're lazy, here's a video. But you can see the lid, the basket, the growing solution, that little space I told you about where the oxygen gets in, and some growing medium, which is usually rock wool, pebbles, clay, or volcanic, anything. Just as long as it's not soil. It tells you how to build a system here, and you can even buy the parts for your system, your Kratky system. You can also just use some recyclable plastic crap that you're about to throw out in some water and buy a little bit of solution, nutrient solution at the hydro store, and you're going. So, learn about it. A big solar storm could wreak havoc on GPS and everything else on your phone. Guys, this Wednesday, we're about to have Anita Bailey, PhD, on the radio show. She's going to be telling us all about her, maybe it's a new book. We'll ask her. But she has done some extensive research on EMP and CME and their effects on Earth as we descend into the grand solar minimum. Now, solar storms involve magnetized particles that shoot out of the sun. They can shake up the balance of Earth's magnetic field, not to mention fry the grid. And if a solar storm was strong enough, it could deorbit satellites and cripple the grid. Just like I said, the sun has been extremely calm lately, but that's not necessarily a good sign. And as we descend into the grand solar minimum, we should expect outbursts to occur at any time during minimum or as we go back up into solar cycle 25. And with our waning magnetosphere, these events are going to wreak havoc on the grid. Mark my words. Now, the biggest, most dangerous solar storms are prompted by coronal mass ejections, which are essentially great balls of fire that shoot from the sun. And what I'm about to read you came from the mouth of astrophysicist Scott McIntosh, who directs the High Altitude Observatory at the National Center for Atmospheric Research. He told Business Insider, the problem is we can't control that large ball of garbage at the center of the solar system. Yeah. That's what's happening to science. Somebody slapped Scott McIntosh. So if you want to know about the real lowdown on what solar storms, CMEs, and EMPs can do and what they will do to the Earth and to your electronics, join us this Wednesday while we have Anita Bailey, PhD, on the radio show. Don't miss it. Strawberry Moon 2018, how to catch this sweet event alongside rare Saturn views. Whew. Much like its namesake, the event is a real treat. Yes, it is. Hot on the heels of summer solstice, June's waxing moon will reach its full lunar phase in the wee hours of June 28th, just 3 days from now, kicking off a summer of celestial happenings. Stargazers are in for a treat, since this full moon, known as the strawberry moon, also happens to arrive during Saturn's opposition, meaning Saturn will be its closest and its brightest point of the year. That means you can see it. There's a strawberry moon. Doesn't it look a little pink? Guys, I want you to check out the Danish Meteorological Institute here and the epic amounts of snow and ice gain on the Greenland ice sheet here. Over 600 gigatons a day, consistent all the way out towards the end of June. That is well above the multi-decadal average, which you're looking at here. This is the 1981-2010 average. We're well above it. Don't let them tell you the Arctic's warming. They're full of it. Come over here to the No Trick Zone today. Awesome article coming out. Where's the warming? Summer snow blankets Poland and Ukraine. We reported on it yesterday. Summer camp children were evacuated because of the snow. Summer camp children evacuated because of the snow. Ow! Winter refuses to die as large parts of the northern hemisphere like Labrador and Eastern Europe get blanketed by unusual summer snow, and the Oppenheimer Ranch covers it daily. Arctic ice volume reaches a 13-year high as we report on it daily. Greenland snow mass balance explodes as we just showed you, and the tropical Atlantic is at its coldest ever on record since '87. And this is Weather Bell meteorologist Joe Bastardi espousing this data. It's not coming from fairy tale land. It's not coming from some theory that we're all burning up and the sea levels will crush the cities, which is not happening. The things we're saying are happening. It's the coldest Atlantic on record since '82. Canada is shivering unprecedented this late in June and many areas might not see summer. Look at the temperature anomalies up here. 3 to 15 degrees below normal, including Florida, a little below normal. Cuba, heads up, Labrador may not get summer. Most snow in 50 years. And we just reported on the Poland, Ukraine snow, just happening a few days ago. And here's the Arctic sea ice volume, 18-year highs. Dems is the facts, and it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. You are here in the modern eddy minimum at the very beginning. We're descending into it. By 2075, you're going to be living in a brave new world. This isn't based on a theory. This is based on solid science, the historical record, and the scientific facts of the climate record of the planet, which comes from the Greenland ice cores. It's very high resolution. Here's where we are. Here's where we go. It matches the pattern. The jig is up. Assume responsibility. Be informed. Know where you're going. Make your own decisions. The time is now to start preparing. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance in the future that you're living. Are you prepared?